Some people just have all the luck, and I'm 100% sure that these guys in the list are pretty thankful they have Lady Luck on their side, especially the one at number 1 who found himself on a pretty bad predicament. Stay tuned for that as we give you 15 of the luckiest people ever caught on camera. With all that said and done, let's begin, shall we? Number 15. On the wrong side of the tracks. There's a reason why subway stations have those yellow tiles next to the train tracks. When you see yourself standing in yellow, it only means one thing. You are standing far too close to the tracks. This guy waiting for the train at the Bay Area Rapid Transit Station in the Oakland Coliseum either didn't care about the safety measures, or he just didn't see where he was standing because he fell right on the tracks. The problem was there was a train coming, but lucky for him, a BART employee was present who quickly pulled him away from certain death at just the right time. Honestly, if the employee was half a second slower, they would have had a disaster on their hands, not a harrowing close call. Number 14. That ain't a pussycat. UK newspaper The Daily Telegraph reporter Charles Starmer Smith was sent on an assignment to a wildlife park one day. He probably figured he'd interview a few trainers, take some snapshots of the animals, and call it a day. But he probably never expected he would end up in a lion cage. The reporter was allowed into the cage of 1-year-old lion Ma Pim Pam, whose name means little baby, and was subsequently mauled by the animal while its trainer tried to calm it down. Lucky for him, the little baby looks like it was just roughhousing and not seriously going for an all-out attack. Number 13. Now that's a photographer. Amateur photographer Meki Jaidi was on vacation in the Caribbean island of St. Barthélemy when he decided to head to a plane spotting area famous for its nerve-wrackingly low-flying planes. He saw a small aircraft approaching for a landing and he decided to take a few photos. What he didn't realize was that the plane was flying low. Way too low. So low, in fact, that the landing gears almost grazed the photographer's head. But, like any professional photographer who just had a brush with death would do, he stood up straight when the plane flew by and took more photos. The whole thing was documented by another man who was testing his 360 camera and captured every hair-raising moment. Number 12. A ton of bricks. There you are, walking down the street, minding your own business, probably listening to some good tunes, and a literal ton of bricks almost hit you on the head. No, it's not a scene from one of those old silent movies. This happened exactly in the UK, and it was all caught on camera. This man narrowly escaped being crushed after strong winds caused the roof of a building to collapse onto the road. He was just walking past a cafe when 65-mile-per-hour winds literally blew off the roof of the building. Why this man was going for a walk at this weather, I don't know. What we do know, though, is that he is a really lucky guy. Number 11. Mad skills. Another incredible piece of dashcam footage out of Eastern Europe has been making the rounds on the internet. This time the footage shows quite possibly either the luckiest motorcyclist in the world or someone who had physics-defying skills, making a perfect crash landing on the roof of the car he just rear-ended. The video, shot from the dash of a bystander, shows a dark-colored motorcycle appear out of nowhere to slam violently into the rear of a car during a lane change. You already know what happens next here. Since its upload, many people have been saying that the video was fake and that physics just doesn't work that way. But what is important is what you think. Number 10. Artificial hail. Street cleaner Sarli Misakov was working under a flight path to Heathrow Airport when a giant piece of ice crashed beside him and almost crushed him to death. Now, it doesn't usually hail in that neck of the woods, so where did the huge block of ice even come from? It most probably came from a plane and got dislodged when it engaged the landing gears in preparation to land. That area near the Heathrow Airport is notorious for things falling from planes and almost hitting people on heads. Frozen urine, also called blue ice, and even the body of a stowaway have plummeted onto this street for years. No reports of people being directly hit on the head though, which probably makes this the luckiest town in the world. Number 9. Sharks and booze don't mix. Do you feel that need to party and get drunk? If you're 21 and above, then go ahead and do so. Do you feel the urge to go on a boat and swim about in the waters of the Gold Coast in Australia? Well, no one's stopping you. Go on ahead. Wanna mix them both? No, don't do that. Otherwise, this might happen to you. A group of friends were out partying on a boat off the Gold Coast. One of them decided to jump into the waters, seemingly to retrieve a cage of sorts. But as he splashed in the water, a 10-foot tiger shark appeared out of nowhere. It was a good thing that the shark was more interested in the cage rather than the swimmer, because I'm pretty sure that guy in the video sobered up pretty quickly after this. Number 8. Whale food. Well, here's something you definitely don't see every day. While diving off the Central California coast, 2 divers were nearly swallowed by humpback whales. And as is now commonplace these days, the whole thing was caught on video. The whales were feeding by using a process called bubble net feeding, in which the whales swim in circles, releasing bubbles beneath a school of prey until the prey is corralled into a tight bait ball. The whales then swim up towards the surface with mouths open wide and consume thousands of fish in one gulp. Had the divers just been a few feet over, the whale's mouths may have consumed more than just thousands of fish. Number 7. Watch your head. Scuba diving is an inherently dangerous activity. I, for one, don't get why people even do it at all. Divers need to be aware and watch out for a ton of things. Do they have enough air in the tanks? How fast they ascend if they dive too deep? Ocean predators always out to bite a chunk off of them, every poisonous and venomous marine animal, which brings bad news, and of course boat propellers, as this video shows. Reports said the guy was diving in the St. Clair River, United States, when he had a close brush with death, keeping himself away from a spinning propeller. The video shows the diver maintain his position with the help of a rope that is secured to a bed of rocks in the water when the freighter passes over him with a terrific noise. At one point, as seen in the video, he loses his grip on the rope, but was able to manage his balance immediately at the bottom of the river. This guy missed disaster by literally inches. I bet he's learned to pick dive spots with less boat traffic the next time. Number 6. That's a big boulder. Not many people have narrowly escaped death by as thin a margin as this Taiwanese motorist who was almost crushed to death by a massive boulder crashing down onto the road just a few yards away from him. This extraordinary video, recorded by chance on a camera mounted on the dashboard of a second car following behind, shows just how lucky the first driver was. The boulder looked like it could weigh hundreds of tons. It rolled down onto the road because of the heavy rains which had been battering the country for days at that time. So learn this lesson, kids. Don't drive near cliffs when it's raining hard. You might not be as lucky as these guys. Number 5. Snowy slip and slide. Here's a recent one and is the perfect example of why you should not be driving fast when the roads are covered with ice and snow. This dashcam footage captured the terrifying moment a truck lost control and nearly hit a man and a state trooper in western Iowa. The video shared by the Iowa State Patrol was then taken from a delivery truck sitting on the side of Interstate 80 near Council Bluffs, Iowa. The state trooper was assisting with a separate crash when a white delivery truck lost control and came barreling toward them. It's certainly one of the craziest close calls I've ever seen, but fortunately no one involved was seriously injured. Number 4. Trapped for 3 days. When you're trapped in a sunken ship, your prospects aren't looking so good. Not unless you're Harrison Ojigba Okeen, who miraculously survived being trapped in a sunken ship for 3 days before rescuers were able to get to him. He was in the toilet when the boat sank, and he somehow was able to find his way into the engine room, where a bubble of air was trapped, giving him the precious oxygen he needed to survive. He survived for 3 days with only a bottle of Coke to sustain him. Number 3. A matter of inches. Funny thing about those automatic barriers on railroad crossings, they were actually put there for a reason. And that one reason is to prevent something like what you're about to see in the video from happening. This shocking video footage shows a Dutch cyclist came within inches of being hit by a train at a level crossing. CCTV footage of the incident has been released by the rail authority in the Netherlands to warn the public of the dangers presented by level crossings. In the video, you see the cyclist waiting for one train to pass by before crossing. The problem is he didn't realize that the barriers were still down, and that usually means something. I can't imagine what it might be. He didn't see that there was another train coming from the opposite tracks, and when he finally did, instead of backing off, he began to pedal furiously forward. The train missed him by a matter of inches. That's definitely one lucky dude, but please, when you find yourself in a similar situation, don't test your luck. Now it's time for the day's best pick. Today's pick is for all parents out there. Never leave your children unattended. Number 2. Please mind the kids. Again, parents, please mind your kids. A child who had just gotten off a school bus is seen in dashcam footage getting nearly hit by a passing big rig truck. The heart-stopping near disaster happened in Gull, Norway. The bus is seen stopped on the side of the road as 4 children got off. Just as the bus takes off, 2 of the children try to cross the highway. One of the children luckily misses getting struck as the driver of the truck brakes hard. Fortunately, no one was hurt from the incident. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it really works. Number 1. Rally Close Call. When you are a spectator at the rally race, where is the safest place to watch the action? Well, wherever it might be, it's definitely not right beside the road. Spectators have a choice where to stand, but unfortunately for staff and media, they usually have no choice than to be in the thick of the action. Luck really is a good thing to have when you're working one of these races. Take this photographer for instance, standing just behind a road barrier while taking snapshots of the speeding cars passing by. Lucky for him, the barrier was there because he would have been flattened like a pancake when one of the rally cars barreled towards him, ricocheted off the barrier, narrowly hitting the brave photographer. Had the car hit the barrier at a slightly different angle, we'd be telling a different story here altogether. Which close call sent your heart racing? Let us know in the comment section down below. Want to watch more amazing videos like this? Click on any of the videos you see on your screen. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.